Okay. So you really want to self-reflect. So want to assess. And this is probably the hardest part, I think, because this is the path to really getting clear, crystal clear, right? So what we talked about so far, you're getting a little bit more clear, kind of getting closer to what you want to do. You want to, do your current job, but somewhere else or nothing at all or whatever. But now, what does that look like? So you really have to self-assess first before putting yourself out there, because again, you can't hop in the car, just go. You want to have a destination. And so in this portion, I want to really kind of make you think deeper about what it is that you want so that you'll come out with that clarity. And this is, again, going to be probably the hardest part of this, because this is the part we don't typically do. We just kind of, I need a new job. Let me go see what's out there. You just skip straight from, I'm not happy, to let me apply to something. And there's a lot of steps in the middle that can make a huge difference on the type of roles you end up getting, your happiness in that new job, etc. And so I want you guys to self-assess and reflect. So what do you love doing? Right? So these are a lot of good questions that you can start to ask yourself to start to really, again, gain that clarity. What do you love to do? Right? So think about your past jobs. I have, when I do coaching, career coaching with my clients, I make them do this exercise. Give me each and every job you've had, and I want to know what you liked about it, what you didn't like about it, what lit you up about it, right? What would you do for free? All of these type of questions can really help you to pinpoint what you love to do. I was listening to a career coach years ago, and she said something that really stuck out to me in terms of what you love. If you are moved by certain commercials, right? So if you see, I don't know, a pet commercial and you're just so in love with the dogs and that makes you smile, maybe you have a future working with animals. You know what I mean? It could be that simple. But you have to do the work and start to be self-aware of the things that you like and the things you enjoy doing, because you know that phrase, do what you love and doesn't feel like work. I'm working right now. This doesn't feel like work to me because I love it. And it's a very true sentiment. Now, don't get me wrong. There are days I don't feel like doing anything, but that's just because I'm tired or other reasons, not because I don't love my work. But what you want to do is make sure you find out what it is you love. There's a career in anything. When I tell you there are people making money snuggling with strangers, there's a career for anything. So don't be afraid to really dig into this and figure out what you love to do. You can monetize pretty much anything these days. What are you good at? Not the same thing. Not necessarily the same thing, right? I'm really good at writing resumes. Do I absolutely love writing resumes? No. That's the reality. I don't absolutely love it. I'm really good at it though, right? And so what are your strengths? What have you gotten recognition for in your past jobs? Why do people compliment you? Oh my God, you're so good at this, you're so good at that. Really think about the things that come easy to you that don't come easy to other people. Okay. A lot of times we don't recognize what that is because it comes easy to us. I didn't recognize, I had this gift of writing resumes. So someone else said, you should charge, you're really good. And I was like, that's not a thing. And it is a big thing. Hello. So what are you good at? Right? Really pinpoint that. What value are you offering? So what do you do that is of benefit to your organization? What do you do that is of benefit to the world? Okay. How does your work impact people or your organization or whatever? What is it? What are the outcomes that you are able to deliver? Okay. That's what I want you to figure out. right? So what you're good at, for example, I'm good at writing resumes. What values does that offer? People can now go and position themselves for better roles, right? My clients can now move on with confidence because they have a strong resume that represents them well, and they can go out and get more interviews. That's valuable. See what I mean? So think about it in the sense of the outcome of what you do or have done in the past. What motivates you? Right? So what are your core work values? Core work values. So for example, and another thing about, being unhappy and wanting to make a move, typically it's because one or more of your core work values are not in alignment with the work you're doing or the company you're with. So for example, if one of your core work values is, autonomy, you want to be able to make decisions and move and do your thing, but you have a micromanager, it's not going to work. It's a misalignment there. And so knowing what your core work values are, this piece is going to be more important for your environment. Okay. What excites you? Meaning, does a big fat paycheck excite you more? Or does rescuing the animals excite you more? What is the thing that really lights you up? And what's your big why? Like, why are you doing this work? Why are you attracted to this work? Why did you choose this field? Why? What was it about this industry or this work that made you want to do it? And then if your why is not in alignment with your values, there you go, another misalignment. So all these type of questions, really writing these things out and thinking through all of these things, you will come to clarity. Okay. Because for example, if your big why, let's say I'm from the Caribbean. So for me, I had to be either a doctor or lawyer. That was it. That was my choices. So I chose doctor. My why? Because that's what was told to me. But that wasn't in alignment with my own values. I went to college and I barely could pass my core classes. But it was a breeze for me to do my English classes. You see what I mean? So you want to make sure that your why is true to you, first of all, and that your why is in alignment with your values. So your why is because I want to, I want to be a doctor because I can make money, or, you want to do whatever so you can make more money. And money is a core value, like you need to be compensated, and that could be a good fit. But you also have to consider all these other things. So does it excite you to do the work? Does the money just excite you? Because you can get money from anywhere. See what I mean? So start to really dig into these questions and you self-assess. What do other people say about you? So maybe you can go back to some of your performance reviews and see what have all my bosses typically said. You'll probably see a thread of commonality there, because you typically would do what you do, how you do it, wherever you are, if that makes sense. So you want to make sure you're asking your colleagues, hey, what 3 words would you use to describe me, or things like that. And that can also help a lot in terms of you realizing the value you bring, or, what you are good at, etc. Ask your friends, ask your family members, that outside opinion can really open your eyes to some things that you were blind to. It did for me, for sure. And then why are you special or unique, right? What do others come to you for? What do you do well? What perspective do you have? Maybe you have a different way of thinking. Maybe you have a different way of doing things. Maybe you do things so much better than your peers. Maybe you have a different background that lends itself, to this role in a different way. Maybe you speak 10 languages. Maybe you've lived in all the continents. What is special or unique about you, right? And then when you can figure out that, you really also should be able to translate that back into value. At the end of the day, it should always kind of go back to the value piece, because that's what you're going to use to entice these employers, right? But when you start to ask all of these deep questions, you will come up with a result, and you'll realize, wow, I think I need to not do this and really focus on doing that. Okay. But you got to do this work. This again is going to be probably the most challenging part. Then once you do all of that, then you start to research. Okay. So you did the internal assessment. Now you need to do the external assessment, right? So now this is what I'm good at. This is the results I bring. All right. Now let's see how this can lend itself to a company or corporation. So you want to research emerging industry and jobs. You could literally just Google this and find tons of information about what's coming up, what's new positions that are being, created. You can most definitely figure out what industries are booming, what industries are kind of dying out, what new jobs are out there. Because I know for me, when I started writing resumes, there's tons of clients that I've had, I didn't even know their job was a thing. I was like, you do what? And so there's so much out there that you probably don't even realize besides your mainstream things, right? So your mainstream things are going to be your accounting, your finance, your HR, right? But within those are so many different other things that you could do. You probably don't even realize is a job. Another resource I want you to use is onetonline.org. It's great. I mean, a wealth of just information about skills and how they match up to different jobs. So you can search by skill, or you can search by industry, you can search by job title, and you'll just find so much there that will definitely open your eyes to see what else is out there if you're not sure what you want to do next. Okay. Browse the job boards. Just go, on Indeed and just start scrolling through, putting in some keywords, seeing what's out there. Not with any intent, just to see what's out there. So putting your skills, putting keywords, putting, things, phrases that you found that you want to be doing, and see what kind of pops up. And of course, you got to use LinkedIn, right? You got to use LinkedIn. Because LinkedIn is also a huge place for you to get a lot of data and information. So do your research. What you want to do while you're doing this research is to start highlighting things that interest you, pique your interest, align with your values, align with your desires, your skills, your passions, etc. Okay.